He'll know something about Master. I'm sure of it. Next. Found somewhere to rest. Well, lead the way then.
Let's see! Huh. This bag from Skirk has a ton of Mora in it. Does she have a job or something? Wait, no. After what we saw at Wamin Restaurant, that seems impossible. Can you imagine? It would go something like... I'll be collecting my paycheck now, boss. Oh, sure thing. Wait, who are you? Have we met? Can't hold a job if you make everyone forget about you. So, what did she do to get all this Mora?
Claimed some buried treasure, took care of a few monsters that were causing trouble. Nothing untoward. It's safe to use.
Ah! You heard all that?
A sonorous voice like yours is hard to miss. I wouldn't be surprised if the sound of it traveled to the nearest mountaintop.
Then, did you by chance happen to hear Paimon's little, joke earlier?
You mean when you called me Frosty the Lavender Melon?
No, sorry. Paimon totally misspoke just now. She didn't say that at all. It was, a Paimon lookalike. Yeah, she's a piece of work, that one. Always impersonating Paimon and giving people weird nicknames. Okay, fine. The truth is, Paimon didn't like you all that much at the start. But things are different now. You helped the Traveler in a big way, so... What do you say? Friends?
Ugh. I noticed there was only one bed. Go ahead and get some rest.
Wait, what about you?
I don't get tired, and I don't need rest. I'm going to practice my sword work. That should help me regain some strength.
But your shoulder... Hey, don't just leave! Whatever. Let her tire herself out. She'll come back eventually. Let's get some sleep, Traveler. That comfy bed is calling, Paimon.
quiet.
Do you even remember how many of us perished in that fire? How many bodies were left to rot on the scorched earth? Yet you alone live on.
Keep your gaze fixed on your blade. You don't deserve to rest.
Run, Skirk. Run! Only death awaits us here. Keep running, and don't ever look back.
Getting an early night's sleep is the best. That bed was so comfy. Wait, Skirk? Have you been sitting out here the whole night? The bed's all yours if you want it.
About 60%, maybe 70.
Whew! Paimon thought it would take at least a couple of days. That was fast.
No, not fast enough. That's 20% less than last time. Same training regimen, same intensity. Nothing felt different, but somehow the outcome fell short. No, I think the problem's with me. I need to meditate for the next 2 days. Deep introspection should help me find the issue.
Ooh, sounds intense. We'll watch over you in the meantime, then.
Thanks. See you in 2 days.
Morning! Skirk is still meditating, huh? It's been 2 days already. Shouldn't she be awake by now? Paimon can't think of anything we can do to help. Oh, wait! Breakfast! That's it! Paimon will go get breakfast! Skirk is gonna be starving when she wakes up. Be right back. That's right. This is Skirk's inner world. Think of it as the threshold between the soul and dreams. This isn't your first time here, but what you remember is probably a space covered in darkness. I only managed to illuminate a small portion for you back then. Actually, it's my first time talking to someone like this. I only managed to break free and bring you here because the injury weakened her power. I guess that's why I can speak again, too. Call it fate, if you want. I think that's the word they use in this world for lucky coincidences like this, right? Now, before I take you to her, I gotta ask. You're the first outside visitor to ever come here, so what's your impression of this place? Oh, you noticed. This river represents Skirk's strength. Strength accumulates over time. It is the summation of a person's lived experience. So this river is where all the fragments of Skirk's life should converge into a single stream of memories and emotions, flowing forward as one. But, as you can see, this river has been severed numerous times. It's because Skirk doesn't like who she was in the past. And all she sees reflected in the river is a disgraceful shadow of who she was. She cuts through water and rock with the sword of reason, severs her connection with the past, and begins anew.
You must learn to shut out all the pointless emotion. Crush the self that makes you weak, and become master over your physical form.
This isn't my first taste of failure or losing power. When you fall, you get back up again and become stronger. That's how it is.
The answer to one mystery invites another question, I see. Let's follow the river upstream. There among the cliffs, among the memories etched into her heart, lies the truth of it all. Soon, you'll understand everything. I've always thought that, even when falling leaves don't come from the same tree, they can still form bonds of kinship when they meet. Like meteors, you both made a journey through the stars. Both travelers who have landed on a planet that is not your home. Yet, when she first noticed your presence, although she hesitated for a moment, she still chose to walk away, indifferent as ever. Seems like you've answered your own question. Skirk sees herself as a trespasser in this world. She's made a conscious choice to avoid altering its path. But the reason for that decision stems from events much earlier on in her life. Let's keep going. It's still a long way to the source of the river.
You now have what it takes to wield immense power. From this day forth, I shall teach you no more. No one can become a worthy warrior through imitation alone. I have given you fangs and claws. Now, you must learn to hunt.
You wish me to travel the world beyond on my own, Master?
Indeed. Make new friends. Embark on your own journey. And piece together a new future from the shattered remnants of your past. We will still have contact through the abyss. But know this. One day, I will take the life you worked so hard to rebuild and reduce it to ashes. Just like the fire that haunts your mind.
Why would you do that?
I have told you before, fear is the catalyst for human evolution. You have tasted loss. You have known fear so deep it can be felt in the bones. But as living beings, we all have an instinct to detach from that which harms us. And thus pain dampens over time, and the acrid taste of fear becomes but a distant memory. Yet now, I have bestowed upon you the gift of fear eternal. It will drown you in the nightmare of your childhood, or it shall drive you to defeat me, whatever the cost.
That is what Skirk's master, the foul Sertologi, looked like at one point in time. Of course, as a higher being, physical form is a triviality to him. He could appear as a beast, a human, or even a monster that defies description. The form you see him in here, clad in abyssal armor, is the one he usually wears when traveling through the stars.
For certain reasons, I need to bridge the power gap between me and my master as quickly as possible. But first, I need to understand the source of his strength. To do that, I need to follow in his footsteps, walk the path he once walked, and somewhere along the way, I'll find out how to defeat him. That is my sole focus and purpose.
I'll let you in on a little secret. The real Sertologi is terrifying. The scope of his power is impossible to understand until you experience it firsthand. It is absolute, the power to crush all things. Shall we keep going? Let's see. We're about halfway there. We've made it quite a ways already. This is Skirk, when she first began training under Sertologi.
I have set your broken wrist. Tomorrow, you're to train twice as hard. No tears this time. Good. Attempting to garner sympathy through tears is a habit of the weak. A pitiful, useless ploy.
Can I ask a question, Master? Why did you save me? I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time. I wouldn't have to go on like this.
I saved you because I have a plan for you. It has been too long since I fought a battle that demanded my full strength, and I hunger for it. Every so-called genius and prodigy I have faced has crumbled like sand underfoot. Before me, even fate bends the knee. So, I will teach you everything I know, train you by whatever means necessary, in the hope that one day, you might surprise me.
But I don't want to draw my sword against you, Master.
What you want matters little. Among the boundless sea of stars, the cries of the weak are but faint murmurs that disappear into the void. You of all people know that well.
Yes, Master.
From that day forward, all she knew was grueling training, emptiness, and fatigue. After some time, her talent bloomed, and she gained control over her emotions, like her master. How should I put it? It was not that human emotion disappeared from her heart, but that reason came to dictate all she was allowed to feel. I suppose it was at this point that she became the Skirk you know today. We're nearly there. I almost don't want to reach the end. Well, shall we? This is the final stretch. These are Skark's happiest memories. What a simple and carefree time it was. Wisps of clouds dotted the sky. The sun bathed everything in golden light. And when song filled the air, not even the shyest of flowers could resist swaying along. This is Skark's homeland. She was so curious about everything as a child, always skipping school to go exploring instead. There was so much to discover. The treasures at the bottom of the sea, the secrets beyond the stars, and that merchant ship packed with adults wearing those strange clothes. Yes, the ship. That was the beginning of the end. It was a spaceship. When it arrived, the people that disembarked wore smiles on their faces and spoke of friendship. They claimed to be merchants from a neighboring planet, looking to establish trade.
Skirk's parents, her relatives, her neighbors, everyone welcomed the newcomers with open arms and allowed them to explore the planet. To them, the visitors were guests and should be treated with hospitality. No one had any idea of what was to come. Several months later, an army of unknown origin arrived without warning and carried out a ruthless campaign to destroy everything and everyone on the planet. Skirk had skipped school that day, like so many times before, so she was not caught in the immediate wave of destruction. But when she came home that day, only fire and ruin awaited her. Countless people cried out to her for help. People she knew and loved. Friends and relatives. The little girl who lived next door. The shop owner with the bad leg. The bad-tempered teacher she had made fun of just that morning. Their lives were discarded like worthless trash as the fire consumed one life after another. Skirk was helpless. All she could do was run. And so she did. She kept running until an unexpected figure crossed her path. If Sertology hadn't been there in that moment, the fire would have claimed her life too. And there she would have remained, left to rot in the scorched earth, with no answer as to why any of this was happening. Because she and her people were seen as a threat. As the initial merchant ship explored the planet, they discovered that it hadn't always had the condition to support life. Yet there was evidence of human activity, even during the periods of extreme heat or cold in the past. Further research revealed that, over time, the people of this planet had evolved the ability to adapt to any type of environment or energy source. For that reason, the outsiders viewed them as a potential threat and decided to eliminate them before the threat could rear its head. And so, the army was called, and the so-called danger was wiped from the face of the planet. Senseless, isn't it? Deemed a threat because of a gift they didn't even know they had. Perhaps it was their own innocence and kindness that doomed them. But in the end, that was lost to the blaze as well. If those with power get to decide good and evil, then all you can trust in is the sword in your hand. And so, before death could claim her, she ran. She ran and never stopped. No one wants to relive their most painful moments. Well, that brings us to the end of the story. This is as far as we can go. Skirk is waiting over there. For both of us. Let's go to her. It's time to fulfill my purpose. And my greatest wish over all these years.
So all this, just so you could bring her here?
things to say to you. Well, to me. I want someone to witness our reconciliation, even if it takes an argument to get there. And she is the best choice in this moment. Her suppressed emotional self, the version of herself she keeps locked in the recesses of her mind, stifled by reason. All those rejected impulses, those discarded aspects of your past selves, they are a part of me now. I am who you used to be. Someone you have refused to face for too long. So, I came to face you instead.
You're wrong. I've faced you all along. And that's exactly why I keep you locked here. Your existence makes me weak. Moments of joy and longing are when we are most vulnerable. Don't forget, it was a penchant for goodness over reason that doomed our homeland in the first place. The vastness of the universe renders everything insignificant. Our feelings most of all.
Even so, learning from the mistakes of the past doesn't have to mean erasing everything. Strip yourself of your so-called weaknesses, emotions like kindness and empathy, and what makes you any different from the ruthless soldiers who slaughtered our people?
The difference is that I'm doing what is right, what is necessary. I allow you to exist, but with limited freedom. That is the greatest kindness I can offer. I've shouldered everything you couldn't carry. I rose above the numbness and emptiness, and it was cold, unfeeling reason that brought me this far. It made me who I am. It made me strong.
That is the problem. I want to shoulder those things together. On the grand scale of the entire universe, maybe our feelings are vanishingly small, but why should that mean they don't matter? Emotion gives warmth to the cold expanse of space. It gives meaning to the world around us. Think back to those nights of gazing at the stars, those afternoons of exploring the unknown. Think back and let them grant you peace. A brief respite from the pressure you put on yourself.
That isn't what we need.
It's exactly what we need. Aren't you curious about why recovering your strength has taken longer than normal this time?
Finally, you get to the important part. That is the only answer I came here to find.
Then look around. Look at your inner world. You cast aside your dreams and curiosity, and in doing so, you lost your original motivation. You severed all connection to who you used to be, so you can no longer draw strength from your past. Now, the only things driving you forward are fear and survivor's guilt.
But these cannot take you far enough. And so, this river, the source of your strength, grows more polluted by the day. And you think that means I should seek help from a weak little thing like you?
Thank you for saying that. I knew bringing you here would be the right choice. To be honest, I'm not here to argue with you. This isn't about who's right or wrong. And in fact, I agree that in order to make it through the wake of that tragedy, we had to distance ourselves from the pain through reason over emotion. But what is right at one point in time isn't always right forever. I know you will never forget that fire. I know the fact that you were the sole survivor fills you with guilt. And I know that among the voices that haunt you, mine is there too. Because deep down, you know that you didn't turn out to be the person you wanted to be. All those unfulfilled hopes are like knives to the heart. And I don't want you to hurt anymore. So even if you can't accept me, I hope, at least, that you can let go. I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time. I wouldn't have to go on like this.
Your dad and I, we're not afraid to stare death in the face, but we need you to survive.
I'm sick of being a kid. There's so many amazing things out there, and I'm ready to see them all.
I remember. There was a song Mom and Dad always sang when we went out to fetch water. Dancing water. The sand along your path is begging for your song and movement. Will you carry this burden with you on your journey? I am not the dancing water, and you are not the burdensome sand. But if this is your wish, then I will carry you with me until the end.
thank you.
I should be thanking you.
Run, Skirk, run!
Remember, leave no one alive!
Heed my words, Skirk. Let fear take root in your soul.
Did you survive? Why was it only you?
Skirk, did you become a positive light in this world?
Hey, this doesn't have to be the end. Life is a gift. Don't let darkness claim it.
So, you saw my memories then. I once asked my master if survival of the strongest was the law of the universe. He said no, but in a world without order, those with no moral boundaries tend to be the ones who survive. That's why, after hearing his answer, an idea came to mind. An idea that, one day, I would create a new world order. One in which there would never be another tragedy like that fire. One in which power was not the law of the land. But that means I must defeat him. Because my master, Sertologi, is, at the core, a defier of all rules and order. Yes, and not just because of the gap in our abilities, but also because I have no reason to see him as an enemy. Although his decision to train me was not made out of kindness, he did everything a master should. He saved my life, taught me the sword and the principles of strength, and for that, I respect him. I know, and it's not something I want. But Master never goes back on his word. I have to treat everything he says as a promise. He's no longer into that, but he sends me messages through the abyss every now and then. Most of them are simple greetings, or an answer to one of my questions. Every time I hear from him, my heart skips a beat. And I wonder if this is the moment where he'll finally appear before me and tear down everything I've built to pieces. Maybe that means I do live in eternal fear, just like he said. Yes, I respect him, but I'm also afraid of him. And for that reason, the pursuit of strength consumes every moment of my life. I don't know what Master has planned, but I have to be ready. Help me? Why? This isn't your fight.